Get a £5 free bet every week with Offer Club from William Hill. Simply stake a total of £20 or more across the week on pre-match football accumulators with 4 or more selections, and you'll get a £5 free bet on the Friday. Join William Hill Offer Club on mobile or online now.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS Rifle TV in association with Macklin's Gym, Marbella, Wembley Arena here. Alright, let's just try and get through all this tonight. Let's start with Katie Taylor.
Mega.
Unreal.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Unbelievable. I mean, she's just, like I said in the press conference after, it's so weird going to change room, because normally you go into a fighter's change room, you're like, what's up, you know, how you doing, go on, you know, everything's good, you had a great camp, go out there, shine tonight. But with Katie, like, I'm in the change room going, hi, she's sort of sitting there. I'm like, you alright? She's like, then she goes on the pads and like, I'm going, Jesus. I mean, just phenomenal hand speed, shot selection, doubling up body shots.
Brilliant.
Mate, huge, huge. She's going to be huge. December 10th, next one, she's going to box in front of 21,000. You know, I mean, it was a great atmosphere when she was boxing, but it was only 3,000 in here tonight, so it wasn't like, you know, she's boxed in front of bigger crowds, but it was a great atmosphere for her. But 21,000 December 10th, it's going to be epic.
Do you think, because you saw Natasha Jonas here tonight as well,
yeah.
she's working for Sky, I mean, are you sort of opening doors for...
I've had 4 women boxers come up to me tonight here, all of a good, come on. Talk one.
No, actually come in, because we're just talking about you. We're just talking about you.
She wasn't one of the people I was going to say.
Just come in and say.
I said I had women boxers come up to me tonight. One girl just came up to me, she went, I've had 28 amateur fights, you probably know. It's Ted Cheeseman's girlfriend. She's only like 21 or something like that. She's you've got to give me a chance. You've got to give me a chance. I went, I'm not doing women's boxing. Like, it's a one-off, do you know what I mean? But Sandy Ryan here tonight, looking around going, this could open doors, you know what I mean? And Natasha making a comeback, you know what I mean?
We were just talking about this actually, but what did you make of Katie Taylor tonight?
I think anyone who doesn't know about boxing probably didn't expect it, but as people who know about boxing and know about Katie expect that kind of performance, because that's how talented she is. So. She's
such an intriguing character, like I was saying. Going to the change room, she's like, I sort of went into her change room before and I was like, you're right, she's like,
yeah,
I'm like,
it's intense.
She's she's serious, isn't she? I mean, it's the only thing in her life, boxing, you know, fighting, religion, family, it's just, she's so driven. You know, she moved out to America just to be with this trainer, you know, just, and people loved it, because you've got to entertain. We saw some fights tonight with great, you know, good wins, but not entertaining. Yeah. And like, it's hard for me to say to a trainer might go, great performance, you won every round. And I'm going, that was boring. And I know people at home are going, that was boring. With Katie Taylor, it ain't boring. You know, that's what I said before, don't look at it as women's boxing or men's boxing, just boxing. And just a fight. If it's a good fight, it's a good fight. It doesn't matter who's having it.
A man would be happy with the performance that she put out today. Yeah. There's no difference. Like the shot selection that she had, the speed that she had, there was no... David Collar said it next to me, like, a man would be happy with that, and he's right, because the performance was punch for punch perfect. You couldn't argue with it. So it's hard to criticise any fault or anything that she did. She took her time, she didn't rush, she flew punch for punch perfect. Her speed was there, her accuracy was there. There's nothing you could really fault.
Do you watch that and think, I want this?
It's hard because I've kind of moved on away from boxing, but you know, it's still there. Boxing takes up so much time of your life. It's a big part of your life, and in a way that you think, you know, it's always going to be there. So you can never say never about leaving, about coming back, or about whatever, because it's always there, and it's such a big part of your life when you're in it.
All right.
Good interview spot here, Coop, by the way.
It's great, isn't it? I know it's only because we're joined by another person. All right, well, listen, I'll let you go. So, Natasha Jonas, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. And I'll carry on with Mr. Hearn. Unless you want to listen to him wrap up the whole card.
Okay.
12 fights.
See you later.
It's like a who's who, all right, Mick? It's like a who's who of walking through there.
Boxing aficionados. That's all right.
You've got him.
See you later,
Happy
mate.
Christmas.
See you on the 10th.
Oh, I see you on the 10th, won't I? Yeah.
Right.
Go on.
So, Ohara. Let's talk about Ohara.
Do you want to get through? Yeah. Go on, go on.
Go on, that's right.
Go on. Right, mate.
Worst
See you
part.
in a bit, mate. Ohara.
Yeah, Ohara. Obviously very convincing on the scorecards, but
Yeah, I mean that was one of the performances I was talking about. You know, with it's difficult because he's fighting well above the levels that he's boxed before. I thought Scarpa was disappointing. I thought Ohara had freaked him before the first bell even rang, and it took him 6 or 7 rounds to actually realise. Listen, Ohara won every round. So how do you criticise? I would have just liked him to be a little bit more entertaining. I thought he ran out of a few ideas towards the end, but again, taking a good win against a good opponent, and WBC silver champion. So a big night for him. But I go back to, I sometimes look at it from a TV perspective, maybe a fan on the sofa's perspective, who say, I want to see combinations, hand speed, excitement, and didn't feel that we had much in that fight.
Defeats for sort of Jake Ball first of all. It was a devastating knockout by JJ McDonough. Hopefully he's alright. He went to
He's
hospital.
fine. I just spoke to his dad. We sent him to hospital after, and he had a scan. He's absolutely fine. These things happen in boxing. I mean, he was JJ McDonough was a 10-to-1 shot in the fight. Jake Ball's been looking sensational. He goes out, he hurts JJ McDonough within 20 seconds, and squares his feet up and walks straight onto a shot and never recovered. Went over the ropes, it was a bit crazy, and he got hit by a big left hook and knocked him out. And it's a harsh sport and a harsh lesson. And he'll come back. We'll build him, we'll work with him, we'll give him the support. But it was a big blow for him tonight. Big blow for someone that's looked. You talk about the Ben Hall Carson Jones fight. That was a 50-50 fight. Jake Ball was supposed to beat JJ McDonough every day of the week, and he didn't, and it's a devastating loss for him.
Credit to Martin Geffin tonight, who beat John Wayne Hibbert. Obviously,
Geffin's
stepping in.
He's a solid
Didn't
puncher.
he retire?
But he can fight, and I feel like that's the end for John Wayne Hibbert now. I think he's had a wonderful career. He's achieved a lot from someone with limited amateur experience and without the blessings of a GB system and stuff like that. He's had some great nights at the O2. After he got beat with Scarpa, it was like, do you keep going? Do you? And it was like, no, I think I do. And tonight shows that for me, I don't want to see John Wayne Hibbert be involved in fights and get bashed up and get his nose busted and his eye done. And he's one of the nicest blokes you can meet. He's got a huge heart, and I think boxing's given him an awful lot, and I think he can be involved with the sport as well. But for me, and I think he'll feel exactly the same. I spoke to a couple of his trainers, and I think they know that's the end of the road for John, and we'll have a chat with him and see what he wants to do. But he won WBC silver titles, he won Commonwealth championships, so I think he should be very proud of his career. And it's a very good performance from Geffen.
Wins for Ted.
Cheers, mate. All right.
Wins for Ted Cheeseman, Reece Bellotti.
Great win for Ted Cheeseman. Yeah. I mean, you go from a guy taking a risk, like a Ben Hall, like although Jake Ball wasn't anticipated as big a risk as Ben Hall. Ted Cheeseman stepping up. First 2 rounds looked like it was going to be hard work. Hit him with a great right hand, cleaned him out and stopped him, and that's a strong performance from Ted Cheeseman. He's one that looked great tonight, goes to the next level. Same with Reece Bellotti. Ian Bailey doesn't get stopped. Wore him down. He's a wonderful body puncher. He's English champion. He progresses to the next level. It's just, this is what happens. You give people the opportunity, they progress. Ben Hall, I see a few people on Twitter tonight. People, this is art of matchmaking. Do me a favour. If I give him a plum, you moan at me because it was an easy fight. You give him a 50-50 fight, or actually Carson Jones was 3-1 or something like that. And he gets beat, then all of a sudden, it's outrageous that you put him in with Carson Jones. If you would have stopped him in that 4th round when he hurt him, everyone would have said, what a win. He hasn't had the best preparation, and I don't find these things out till after the fight. But no problem, he had a good fight. I felt like I would have liked to have seen him pulled out slightly earlier, but then Pete wanted to give him a round, and Ben wanted another round, and he actually won that round after. But no problem. As the rest comes back, he was fighting at English title level. So what? We come back, we fight for the English title. I don't, you know, people just, you know, some people just talk bollocks.
Martin J. Ward retaining his British title against Ronnie Clark.
Yeah, good win. I mean, again, it was, you know, 7 rounds was you know, he was coasting quite well. And again, that fight was starting to become a little bit monotonous. And then Ronnie Clark came back into it.
Dropped him in the
the last 4 or 5 rounds were fantastic. And, you know, 115, 113, he's 1 round away from a draw. So that was a very, very good fight, an interesting fight at the end. But all the fights were great. Ohara was, you know, it was a solid performance, but it wasn't electric. And, you know, good wins for Felix Cash, who I think he's going to be an outstanding young fighter. Craig Richards, again, same.
Danny
Dignam on his debut had huge support here, and it was, you know, it was a really good performance. Lovely kid, and a Brentwood boy.
Chris Adaway coming over with Jack Healy today.
So, you know, massive card, and, you know, some good nights for people. We had 3 losses on the card, so.
It's not always fixed, is it? I'm only joking. Just a word on the situation we're learning about Nick Blackwell tonight.
Madness. I mean, I don't, you know, all I've heard is he started sparring again, and he became ill, and he's back in hospital, and I think he had an operation. I mean, the people who are letting him go in and spar need to have a look at themselves. I don't know who they are.
Which is definitely not Gary Lockett.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gary Lockett would never, ever allow that. I don't know one person in boxing that would allow Nick Blackwell to spar in their gym. And I'm not blaming Nick Blackwell, because I know how he must be hurting so bad inside. Do you know what I mean? And so desperate to fight again. How can people entertain it? It's disgusting. But I hope he's okay. And, you know, like I said, I don't know too much about it, but, you know, our thoughts are with him, and I just, you know, I hope he can pull through, and I hope he can find peace in his life, you know, because like all these fights, when you lose the buzz, it's the same as people, you know, Ricky Hatton talks about it as well. Imagine that buzz is taken away from you. It's so hard to replace. But people have got to be responsible in boxing and know that, come on, it's madness.
Well, let's pray he's okay. Okay, well, on to Wednesday now.
Yeah, Hey Bell, your press conference, going to be a lot of fun. Get your views ready, get your popcorn ready, and don't worry, this is going to be huge.
Alright, Eddie, thanks so much for our TV.